Yes.
We're celebrating the day the railroad came to our town. This elevated line here at Rawson Street in Long Island City came here for the first time on April 21st in 1917. This morning we are underscoring one of those forces, the opening of this elevated railroad. This is a very special moment for me personally and professionally. In preparing the exhibit, I watched 4 of my students grow from classroom pupils to serious researchers. What you see and read in the exhibit is their work. I'm proud of them and the work they did. And I would like you to meet 4 LaGuardia students that made this exhibit possible. Sandra Espin. Sandra did the research on the Rawson Street poster and the Leisure poster. Little applause, she did a lot of work. Mario Verdugo. Mario did the research for the Queens Boulevard poster and the Steinway tunnel. Yvonne Camacho, who did the research for the Long Island Railroad poster and the Queensboro Bridge. Larry Warshaw, who was dressed in a 1917 outfit. Larry did the research on the factory workers and also on Mayor Gleason, and they did a terrific job. LaGuardia Community College has come a long way in its 14-year history. Its cooperative education program has developed working partnerships with over 500 major corporations and has achieved a national reputation. These accomplishments have been possible because of the leadership and support of the person who founded the institution, Dr. Joseph Shenker. It's my privilege to introduce to you Dr. Joseph Shenker, President of LaGuardia Community College, a person who has taught me and the faculty of LaGuardia how to serve our students and our city. President Shenker.
Thank you very much, Richard. We are very pleased that today's exhibit represents the combined efforts of many different organizations and different groups around New York City. Those responsible for today's events represent city government, private corporations, education, and civic groups. And yet, while all those groups are different, they have a common theme, a common dedication to making the city a better place for its citizens. And we are dedicated to making this community a better place for the people who live in this area. And it is our sincere hope that this effort will just be the beginning of many more combined efforts by many different groups to make the citizens of New York happier and more successful as they go about their daily lives. Thank you very much for coming.
When this subway line opened in 1917, Queensboro President Joseph Connolly presided at the ceremonies. We're indeed pleased today to have our borough president, Donald Mattis, with us for these ceremonies.
Long Island City is on the move. And I can tell you, Long Island City is on the move, and in no small way, LaGuardia Community College has been very helpful. In every way, that school has cooperated. And I'd like to thank Joe Shenker and all of the professors, staff, etc. of LaGuardia. They have been tremendous, and they've been there through thick and thin, to be helpful in the Astoria studios, and helpful in many other things that we have tried to bring to this part of the borough. This community history exhibit shows us just how far they don't know the borough president is speaking. You hear that? The inbound, I have to change that. Inbound means to Manhattan. Inbound should mean to Queens. We are better able to plan for our future when we have exhibits like this, which shows us our past. Queens and New York City has a very proud past, one that we should be speaking about, one which all of the students should know about. So just having something like this shows us what a deep and long past we have. And I'd like to thank everybody for coming here this morning, and of course the people of the LaGuardia community, especially you, Richard. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you very much.
For Queens, the history of mass transit in the 19th century really starts with August Belmont and a good friend of his and partner, William Steinway. Known best for piano making, William Steinway also made Queens. He was the first commissioner of rapid transit in New York He sat on the committee that planned the Queensboro Bridge. He owned and operated most of the trolley lines in this part of Queens. As you all know, the buses still bear his name. We are quite fortunate this morning to have a very special guest. Here with us is the grandson of William Steinway. Please join me in welcoming my good friend, John Steinway.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure to be here this morning, representing Grandpa. His story, by the way, Richard, left out a very important occurrence in 1917. I was born that year. Story of my grandfather is an American story. He came over as an immigrant boy from the old country, Germany, with his parents and 6 brothers and sisters. But he became an American, and a very, very devout one. It was in 1871 that he and his brothers bought the land at the north end of this borough from Astoria Boulevard right out to Bowery Bay, which became later on the village of Steinway. And he got interested in the development of the borough of Queens. He was a real activist for Queens. As Richard has mentioned, he was involved in the originally horse car lines, then trolley car lines, and now, of course, what we know as the Steinway Transit. But he was a man of foresight, a man who saw the future of what this borough can be, and is, and will be in the future.